punch it into the offside. Can't manoeuvre the ball away, goes to Broad, short extra cover from Mohammad Rizwan. There's Sibley at the moment. Archer's definitely going to bowl. He's doing his loosening up exercises at mid-on, so it looks like Archer for Bess at that far end. Root doesn't feel he can bowl him anymore. Sibley's at backward point. Here's Anderson bowling, again on the pads of Rizwan, flicked away down towards fine leg. That's Best territory. Returns to Buttler, one more. Anderson is a bit at odds with the world at the moment.
He's been a bit unlucky, hasn't he? Let's face it. He's just bowled a bit too straight when he's tried to go into the right-hander. I'm a bit surprised to see England's two best fielders down at fine leg and deep square leg, though. Although Dom Sibley had an excellent run out, I'd like to see those two youngsters in the inner ring here, because we know that Rizwan and Shadab will be very busy between the wickets.
There's Pope and Bess. Bess is at fine leg. Pope is at deep square leg. Shadab on strike, Anderson bowls to him, that's forced away. Sibley diving at backward point, can't haul it in, it's going down towards the third man boundary. Burns is after it, they've run two, they're going to look at three, throws on its way. Shadab was coming for the third and Rizwan sent him back just as well. It was a good throw from Burns, and if they'd gone for that there would have been another run. 111 for 5. Shadab to 6. Well, some
आई थिंक कुछ फ्लक्चुएशन है फिलहाल 111 जी 36 ओवर के बाद है 111 पर 5 है पाकिस्तान का स्कोर। और शादाब खान की बात कर रहे थे कि शादाब खान थोड़ा सा तेज बल्लेबाजी करते हैं, बिल्कुल पिछले दिन में भी देखा ये जब आए थे उसके बाद से पाकिस्तान के, और ये नो बॉल यहाँ पर
शुरू कर दिया और डाउन द ऑफ साइड बॉल करना शुरू कर, तो फिर कभी भी यासिर शाह जो है वो कामयाब नहीं हो सकता। सकेंगे। तो यासिर शाह एक ट्रम्प कार्ड है पाकिस्तान के लिए और वो तभी विकेट ले सकते हैं। आपको याद होगा जब 2016 की सीरीज हुई थी या 2014 की सीरीज हुई थी, तो 2014 की सीरीज में यासिर शाह ने कमाल कर दिया था और बैक टू बैक 6 विकेटें ली थी पहली इनिंग में, दूसरी इनिंग में 4 विकेटें ली थी। यही मैदान थे, लेकिन उसमें यासिर शाह की बॉलिंग जो थी वो काफ़ी कमाल की रहती थी। पिच उसकी बॉलिंग जो है पिच इन लाइन जाती थी। अगर अभी यासिर शाह उसी बॉलिंग को दोबारा रिपीट करते हैं तो फिर इंग्लैंड की टीम काफ़ी ज़्यादा। डोमिनिक सिबले बॉल कर उनका सामना करेंगे मोहम्मद रिजवान और देखना ये होगा कि डोमिनिक सिबले कैसी बॉल करा पाते हैं और इस बार उन्हें कैसे खेलेंगे। ओवर द विकेट बॉल कराएंगे यहाँ पर और ऑफ साइड पर खेला है मोहम्मद रिजवान ने शॉट मारते हुए और देखना ये होगा कि किस तरीके से आगे बढ़ पाते हैं। दिस मैच जिसकी वजह से ये पार्टनरशिप बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। ये लास्ट फाइनल पार्टनरशिप है इस वक्त देखा जाए तो रिजवान और शादाब खान के दरमियान। मोहम्मद रिजवान ने काफ़ी रिस्की शॉट खेली हैं देखा जाए तो डोमिनिक सिबले को अपने आप को रूम देते हैं और कट शॉट खेलते हैं। ये काफ़ी बेहतर तरीका है खेलने के लिए। शुरू कर दिया और डाउन द ऑफ साइड बॉल करना शुरू कर तो फिर पाकिस्तान की टीम अपने इस अटैकिंग मोड को किस तरीके से कंटिन्यू कर सकती है, किस तरीके से पाकिस्तान की टीम इंग्लैंड की टीम को अपने अंदर रैप अप कर सकती है। ये सारी चीज़ें ऐसी है, इंग्लैंड की टीम ऐसी है कि उसमें उनकी जो बैटिंग डेप्थ है वो एंड तक जाती है। 16 की सीरीज हुई थी या 2014 की सीरीज हुई थी, 2014 की सीरीज में यासिर शाह ने तो जैसे कमाल कर दिया था, लोअर ऑर्डर आते हैं जैसे आप देखते हैं कि पहली इनिंग में दूसरी इनिंग में 4 विकेटें ली थी। इंग्लैंड के केस में ऐसा नहीं, इंग्लैंड के टेल एंडर में यासिर शाह की बैटिंग जो थी वो काफ़ी कमाल की रहती थी। पिच उसकी बॉलिंग जो है पिच इन लाइन जाती थी। अगर अभी यासिर शाह उसी बॉलिंग को दोबारा रिपीट करते हैं तो फिर इंग्लैंड की टीम काफी ज्यादा
गेंद पटकने के बाद ये पुल शॉट असफल रहा। तो 5 विकेट निकाले हैं इंग्लैंड ने, लेकिन ये काफी नहीं है क्योंकि लीड बढ़ती जा रही है। 224 सवा 200 की ये लीड होने के बाद अब इंग्लैंड के लिए भी मुश्किलें बढ़ रही हैं। स्टोक्स की चौथी गेंद 2 स्लिप के साथ वापस आते हुए फुल पिच गेंद गई आगे, कीपर के हाथ में, फ्रंट फुट पर खेलने की कोशिश मिस कर गए। 136 की गति से डाली हुई गेंद गुड लेंथ थी, आगे की तरफ खेला। तो लीड 224 की, पाकिस्तान का स्कोर 117 रन 5 विकेट के नुकसान पर।
Oh, okay. Okay, what's up, everyone? Sorry about that. I'm basically watching myself on a different computer, which happens to be like a 7-year-old crappy Mac Mini, and just so I can monitor the comments. Anyways, let me just fix that up. There we go. All right, what's up, everyone? This is Ryan here, and this is episode 1 of my weekly Q&A series, where I will just basically be taking questions from pretty much anyone. So we'll be beginning in just a moment, but just a couple things for starters. I think it's kind of hard to quantify sort of what level I am as a developer, but I would basically consider myself an intermediate Android developer. So yeah, I will try and answer as many questions as I can. I will only answer questions that I feel comfortable answering those. So if you ask, just be prepared for me to say, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, that's basically it. And yeah, now I wait for questions. So while that's occurring, I see we've got a couple people in the chat. But until someone actually asks a question, I'll just talk about sort of the setup for today. So this is a total experiment. I have no idea, how it's going to go. But basically what I'm going to be doing is I'll have 3 different projects open. So Profiler is my open source social media app. Sorry, I should switch to the code view and see how that's looking. And I'm just trying out some new overlays and stuff like that. All right, so we've got some questions from Sausage is King. He asks, WTF am I doing here? I don't know, but I think he made a mistake. Who am I? I'm Ryan. Where are you? Where is anything? I mean, it's all relative. Who are you? Well, I don't know. Anyways, yeah. So I've got Profiler, a social media app which leverages Firebase and RxJava, a bunch of crap like that. I've also got Pos Trainer. The reason why I have these are my open source projects, so I will happily go through them if you have questions about specific things. But and then I've also got this project here, which is basically a playground. So yeah, if you have a particular question about something that I can implement quickly, I might just implement it really quickly in this project here. But yeah, I see I do have 11 viewers, but I'd like to remind everyone that this is a Q&A session, so until I get a technical question, you're just gonna hear me padding things out with random words. So that's basically up to you. Anyways, let me think of something to talk about. Let's go back to full cam horror mode. So here's an important thing, and here's just an important thing to realize that this new series, to a degree, I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, I already have a good idea. I've done several hours of streaming, and I have an idea of what to do that way. But I think this particular episode, which is the launch of a new series, might even be kind of a useful teaching to teach one particular lesson. And that lesson is being someone who was a sort of a beginner Android, or sorry, a self-taught Android developer. Full disclosure, I did do one semester. Well, I technically only did one class in the field of computer science, which was Introductory Java. But an important thing to note is when I started Android development, I didn't know what I was doing. I barely knew, like I knew the basics of Java. I didn't know how apps were structured or anything like that. But what I did was I picked a project. I picked something that I thought would be sort of useful and relevant to me, and I decided to just build it. Poorly. But I think the important thing to demonstrate is the first time you do almost anything, you're probably going to do it somewhat poorly. So this first Q&A episode, I've barely prepared anything. I'm like basically just going to sit here and try and answer questions if I get any, and I'm totally cool with that. I'm totally cool if I screw some stuff up. I'm totally cool, you know, it doesn't bother me. So I think just the important thing to note is that there's, on one hand, like once you get comfortable with what you're doing, like maybe a couple episodes in, or maybe after you've built a couple crappy apps, once you get more comfortable, I think it's important to focus a lot harder on the quality of what you're doing. But the first go, you want to just kind of get some information. Any questions? Like, I see we got 10 people tuning in here. So, like general questions about Android, but I kind of need them. All right. Well, I'm going to give it like a couple minutes, and then I'll just start answering my own questions if it comes to it. Or maybe I'll just go answering stack that, do something useful with my time. Yeah, well, I'm just going to fiddle around with Pause Trainer until someone asks some question. Let me switch back. I'm also kind of testing out my new, as you can see, I made some overlays, so I'm kind of testing those out. But yeah, a notepad file open, and what I'll be doing is basically typing stuff in there. So I'll type out the questions or any kind of notes I feel like typing. And I might even, I'll probably put the notes in a post on my website or something like that. And yeah. So Abid thinks I should phone my doctor. Unhealthy? It's probably my pasty white complexion. This is actually what I look like all the time. Like you can see the circles under my eyes. That's what hard work looks like. Anyways, all right. So, I'm just gonna roll with it. So, I think we might have fellow Eastern European ask question, fellow Polish person. I don't actually know how to pronounce your name, but let's see. Vasiluf, they pronounced it. But anyways, the question is, what do you do for a living here? Actually, at the moment, I am basically washing dishes and flipping burgers for a living. Working class background. And so I'm actually quite happy to do that kind of a thing for a living. Obviously, hopefully eventually I'll be making money doing this. I know I will, because I'm growing my YouTube and all that kind of stuff. But the thing is, like, when you're starting your own business and you don't have any capital, which is exactly my situation, you basically have to just do like a slow build up of social media for marketing and stuff like that, and just get it to the point where you can start making a bit of money. But I hope it's clear through me like releasing most of what I do free that while I do value money, it's really not the most important thing to me. I actually just really enjoy talking about this stuff and hanging out with people online. So we've got a second question. I should actually be writing these down. So second question. So again, apologies if I mispronounce your name. Abid Hassan asks, okay, so what do you think is when someone is ready to be an Android developer job, or what to learn? Okay, so I might rephrase your question a little bit. I hope you don't mind, Abid. when do I think someone should, should apply to a job as a junior Android developer, and what to learn before doing so. And I will increase, hopefully that's, oh sorry, I forgot to put it in code mode. And what I'll do is I'll increase the font size just a little bit somewhere. Where's font? There it is. What is Aleppo? All right, and let me just make sure that, yeah, it's totally not visible. Yeah, that's the only difficulty with the overlay. Okay, so when do I think someone should oh, by the way, what's up, Vegito? Thanks for stopping by. So when do I think someone should apply to a job as an Android developer? So, so I have a couple thoughts on this. First and foremost, I realize that there's kind of like two main ways to sort of get in as a developer in like a startup or something like that. So you can apply as a junior developer. And the thing about applying as a junior developer is you're not actually expected to know a huge amount. So that's the first thing. So if the question is kind of like, when should someone apply to a job? In general, I would suggest just kind of my baseline suggestion is I would strongly suggest you have one project, that like one single app at least, and it doesn't have to be an amazing app. Like if you have your own little like note-taking app or something like that, just have one little app that you can put on GitHub or something like that. Just something where you can show to the employer, hey, I have actually written some code. Now, the thing is, beyond that, you can basically apply whenever you feel you're comfortable. In my case, I have actually been through quite a number of interviews, and the most important things sort of from the technical side of things is employers really, really like when you have your own projects. And so that would be my suggestion. Like, if you're a junior developer, figure out some project that you kind of want to build. Don't worry a huge amount about building it really properly, but be really humble about it when you send them the code. Just be like, look, I know I have a lot of room to, and it shows some initiative. So hopefully that somewhat answers the question. Also, the second part of that question is what to learn before applying. My suggestion, just like learn what you need to know to have maybe like and this is just a total suggestion, but maybe like a 2 or 3 activity application. So I'll switch to code, and I hope my overlay won't get in the way of anything. I didn't really test it out super well, so you'll have to apologize. Or sorry, I'll have to apologize if it does. But so for example, I'm going to open up the package explorer in Pause Trainer. And you're probably not going to be expected to be using model view presenter architecture and package by component and stuff like that, but have like a multi-activity app that does something really simple. So the thing is, you want to make whatever app you're building for the first time as simple as possible. Because, for example, this app here is basically a glorified alarm clock app, and even a super simple alarm components to it. So that has an activity, that has an activity, that has an activity. So what I'm trying to, I made.
Hi, I'm Brad Callen, and in this video, I'm going to show you how anyone can quickly and easily create doodle videos, just like the one you're watching right now, using
One mistake I made when I was starting out is I did
दोस्तों आपको यहाँ हम जस्ट चेक डाल देते हैं। इसके बाद यहाँ पे इसका मोड सेलेक्ट करना है, अनलिस्टेड के बाद
खुशी के पल कहाँ ढूंढूं, बेनिशां सा वक्त भी यहाँ है।
जिंदगी से चुरा के जिंदगी में बसा के जिंदगानी बनाया है तुझे।
रात फैली है तेरे सुर में आंचल की तरह, चांद तुझे ढूंढने पागल की तरह, रात फैली
दिल तेरे मेरा क्या है, जिसको सुनूं जिसको कहूँ